Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into a concept that really underpins every single thing we do, every choice we make, the very fabric of our lived experience.
Right.
We're exploring this profound, often overlooked idea that every action, every thought, every decision carries an inevitable consequence, or as our source material puts it, a recompense. And this isn't just some abstract philosophical notion. It's presented to us as a fundamental, sort of inescapable law of existence.
Absolutely.
Now, what makes this deep dive particularly intriguing is, well, the origin of this wisdom. We're drawing from a direct message from a being named Laka, who identifies as being from the Pleiades.
Yeah, and that's often where some people might pause.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For those perhaps raising an eyebrow at the mention of the Pleiades, I get it. It might sound a bit out there, maybe a touch esoteric for some.
Understandably.
However, I'd really urge you to set aside any preconceptions just for a moment, because the message itself, the core teachings Laka shares, are actually incredibly practical.
Very much so.
They're universally applicable, and they resonate deeply with truths found in many wisdom traditions right here on our own planet. It offers a truly unique, powerful lens through which to view our daily decisions, from the most mundane things to the most monumental choices. Our mission today is to thoroughly explore this interconnectedness of our actions and their returns.
That feedback loop.
Yes, exactly. Not in a simplistic transactional way, but as this continuous dynamic feedback loop that shapes our reality. We're going to dive into exactly what Laka means when they assert that every choice inevitably brings a recompense, and, well, what that truly asks of us.
And that's precisely the invitation, isn't it? What's truly fascinating here is that despite the sources, let's say celestial origin, the underlying principles Laka presents are incredibly relatable to the human experience.
Right. It feels familiar somehow.
It's less about a new alien philosophy and more like a call to remembrance, like a prompting to recall truths that perhaps we've always intuitively known but have maybe forgotten or just stopped consciously applying.
Yeah, like dusting off something we already had.
Exactly. And this isn't about karma in that sort of distant, traditional sense, a cosmic ledger balancing out over lifetimes. Laka's perspective is far more immediate.
More now.
Yes, describing a continuous, almost instantaneous feedback loop that operates in every single moment of our lives. Every decision point, no matter how small it seems, generates an echo, a return that shapes our present reality.
So for you listening, we'll embark on this journey through Laka's message. We'll explore how this principle of recompense manifests directly in your most personal spheres.
Like in your relationships with friends, family, partners.
Definitely. And also how it profoundly shapes your career paths and your daily work, impacting your sense of purpose and fulfillment.
And ultimately, right down to your internal state of being, your inner peace, your joy, or, conversely, any feelings of emptiness or unease you might experience.
Laka genuinely encourages us to open our minds and hearts, to move beyond just intellectual understanding and truly grasp the depth of this inherent feedback system.
So let's heed that call. Let's allow these insights to hopefully illuminate the often hidden dynamics of our own lives.
I really appreciate that framing, that call to remembrance, because it immediately makes these profound insights feel less foreign, more like something we're rediscovering within ourselves.
Right. It suggests the wisdom isn't new, just perhaps unacknowledged.
Exactly. Before we dive deeper, though, you mentioned recompense. In the intro, I briefly defined it as a consequence or return, but Lawaya chooses this specific word. Is there a nuance there, something that makes recompense distinct from just consequence or reward? Why stick with that original term?
That's a really crucial distinction, and I'm glad you brought it up. While consequence is a decent starting point, and yeah, reward sometimes fits, recompense, as Laka uses it, carries a richer, more active meaning.
Active how?
It's not just a passive outcome. Think of it more like an energetic return. It's what is given back to you, directly and precisely shaped by your initial input, your intention, your action. It's the universe's dynamic feedback, sort of completing the energetic circuit of your action. It's unavoidable, yes, but it's also inherently reflective. It's like a mirror.
A mirror, I like that.
Yeah. A simple consequence can sometimes feel external, like something that just happens to you. But recompense suggests the return is deeply interwoven with what you put out there.
Okay.
It encapsulates both the positive and the challenging returns, but without the moral judgment that sometimes comes with concepts like punishment. It's really a neutral term for a universal law of cause and effect.
But with a personal touch.
Exactly, with an emphasis on the personal active generation of that effect. So when we use recompense, we're not just saying this happened because of that. We're saying this is what came back to you, specifically attuned to what you initiated. It's a very active, personal, and quite immediate form of feedback.
That makes perfect sense. It's not just a result, it's your result, echoed right back. Okay, with that clarified, let's truly begin to unpack Laka's message. It opens with this really profound invitation, doesn't it? Not just to listen, but to engage on a deeper level.
Holistically, yeah.
Laka asks each of us to breathe deeply, silence the mind, and open the heart. This isn't just casual advice. It feels like a deliberate prompt.
A prerequisite, almost.
Yes, suggesting that what's about to be shared isn't mere intellectual information, but something that needs to be felt, absorbed, and perhaps, like you said, remembered on a soul level.
As if it's already within us, waiting.
Right, waiting for us to quiet the noise and let it reactivate. And then Laka lays out the core statement, the foundational principle for this whole deep dive. Everything that you do, everything that you decide, inevitably brings a recompense.
Everything. It's quite absolute.
It really is.
Yeah.
Just stop and consider that for a moment. Everything. This isn't just about the grand life-altering decisions, though obviously those apply too.
Right, it's the small stuff as well.
Lacan talks about choices in the dream of life, and how as we walk our earthly journey we face innumerable crossroads. That metaphor, dream of life, is beautiful, suggesting this kind of fluid, malleable reality where our choices are the brush strokes, constantly shaping the landscape.
Constantly painting our experience.
And each choice, whether small or grand, isn't isolated. It creates waves that expand in the field of life. Imagine dropping a tiny pebble into a perfectly still pond. The ripples just spread out, don't they?
Touching everything.
Touching everything, eventually reaching the farthest shores, reflecting back some kind of disturbance or movement. That's the vivid image Laka paints for us.
It's a powerful visual.
It is. Now, I genuinely invite you listening right now to consider a recent small choice you made today. Maybe it was how you responded to a casual comment from someone, or what you chose to listen to this morning, or even the subtle attitude you adopted when you first woke up.
Tiny things.
Tiny things. Can you perceive its immediate, perhaps really subtle ripple effect? How did it maybe shape the next few minutes or hours of your day? Your mood? Your interactions?
Yeah, it's often in those micro moments, isn't it?
Exactly. That's often where this law of recompense subtly operates, constantly shaping our present reality.
And that imagery of ripples is incredibly apt, precisely because it captures the essence of recompense as that unavoidable consequence, that energetic return we talked about.
I echo back.
It's the intrinsic cause and effect playing out, not as a judgment, but as a natural, almost scientific-like law of the universe. Laka is very clear that these waves have a dual nature, meaning some of these choices, these ripples, open paths of beauty, joy, and peace. They lead to expansion, harmony, that sense of effortless flow in our lives.
The positive returns.
Right. But equally, and just as powerfully, others lead to challenges, disturbances, and even chaos. They create friction, discomfort, obstacles. It's simply the natural unfolding of energy, reflecting the nature of whatever the initial input was.
Cause and effect, pure and simple.
Pretty much. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, Laka highlights something absolutely crucial here, something that adds real depth, I say. In every decision, there's always an explicit or hidden intention that molds the fruits to be harvested.
Ah, the intention, that's key. Explicit or hidden.
Exactly. This is where it gets truly nuanced and maybe a little uncomfortable for some of us. We often operate under the assumption that our decisions are fully conscious, fully reasoned, entirely within our control.
We like to think so, don't we?
We do. But Laka reveals that even when you believe you are deciding consciously, there are always subtle movements happening in your unconscious planes.
Unconscious planes, like subconscious drivers.
Precisely. When Laka speaks of unconscious planes, it resonates strongly with modern psychology's understanding of our subconscious biases, our deeply ingrained learned behaviors, maybe from childhood, our unresolved emotional patterns, even inherited predispositions.
Wow. So things we might not even be aware of are shaping our choices.
Exactly. These aren't necessarily bad influences, but they are often hidden drivers that shape our choices and, by extension, our recompenses, long before conscious thought fully kicks in. They're like background software running our lives.
That adds a huge layer of complexity.
It really does. It suggests that even our most deliberate actions might be influenced by deeper, less visible motivations, fears we haven't faced, past experiences we haven't processed, unexamined beliefs, or even a desire for validation we're not consciously aware of.
Which really raises a big question for each of us, doesn't it?
It does. How much control do we truly have if these unconscious elements are consistently at play, shaping our intentions and therefore the recompenses that follow? And what responsibility do we have to try and uncover these hidden drivers?
That's a deep one.
And the permanence of these consequences is also a key takeaway from Laka. They emphasize that no action, no gesture, no word is lost in the void.
Nothing just disappears.
Nothing. This isn't a threat of divine retribution or anything like that. It's presented as a statement of universal energetic law, an intrinsic aspect of existence, like gravity or conservation of energy.
Okay.
Every single emanation from us, whether it's a fleeting thought, a spoken word, a physical act, even a silent intention, generates an energetic return. It's an immediate feedback system, the universe constantly reflecting our internal state and our external output right back to us.
So the recompensal isn't just something that happens to us.
Exactly. It's often something that emerges from us, shaped by those explicit and, crucially, those hidden intentions. Understanding this really shifts our perspective.
How so?
Well, it moves us from passively receiving consequences to actively, albeit sometimes unconsciously, shaping them through our choices and the real intentions behind them. It compels us to become much more discerning, much more aware of the seeds we're planting moment by moment.
That's a powerful and, maybe a slightly uncomfortable truth. If these unconscious motivations are so strong, how does Laka suggest we even begin to uncover them? How do we start seeing them in our own lives?
That's a great question.
Are there practical ways to tell if we're just seeking ego sustenance versus genuinely acting from the heart? Or are we just left to figure it out from the recompensa after the fact?
That's precisely the central challenge, isn't it? And it's the core of Laka's call to remembrance, that self-honesty they emphasize later on. To begin uncovering these unconscious drivers, Laka would point us back to the very first invitation. Breathe deeply, silence the mind, and open the heart.
Start with inner awareness.
Exactly. It's about cultivating a deeper self-awareness, finding that inner quietude that allows us to observe our impulses before they just automatically translate into action. Often, the ego's intentions. They feel different. They're often characterized by a sense of urgency, a grasping feeling, maybe a fear of lack, or that need for external validation. A heart-guided intention, by contrast, tends to feel more expansive, more peaceful, somehow unburdened by needing external approval.
Okay, so practically.
Practically, it means pausing, even for just a few seconds before reacting or making a decision. Asking yourself, okay, what is really motivating this choice right now? Is it fear of what someone will think? A desire to look good? A need to control the situation? Or does it come from a genuine place of contribution, maybe love or alignment with your deeper values? That pause is crucial.
And the recompensa itself is a teacher.
Oh, absolutely. It's a vital teacher. If a choice consistently brings back a feeling of emptiness or frustration, or the same challenges keep popping up, Laka's message suggests that's a clear feedback signal.
A sign.
A sign that the intention behind that choice, perhaps unconsciously, was out of alignment with your true essence, with your soul. It's a continuous process, really. Observation, reflection, adjustment, not usually a big one-time revelation.
That makes sense. A constant refinement. Okay, so that deeper insight into our motivations, conscious and unconscious, really underscores the complexity within us.
It does.
It makes me think about how these subtle, often hidden needs must play out in our connections with others, especially in how we give and receive energy, support, attention.
Relationships are a prime area for this.
Definitely. Having felt those subtle, pervasive ripples of recompensa in our daily micro-choices, let's now turn this powerful lens onto maybe the most intricate and vulnerable areas, our relationships.
Where the stakes feel higher.
Exactly. It's here, in this mirrored dance with others, that Laka's call to remembrance often brings the most profound and, sometimes the most challenging insights. Laka shines a particularly bright light on how this law manifests in our interactions, starting with friendship.
That sacred bond.
Yes. Laka beautifully describes the sacred gift of friendship as occurring when two souls meet in truth. This isn't just, liking the same movies. It implies a genuine connection, a deep resonance that goes beyond superficial stuff.
A mutual recognition.
A mutual recognition of spirit, yeah. In such a true friendship, Laka explains, there's a constant flow of invisible gifts circulating. Not material presents, but those intangible yet immensely valuable exchanges.
The real substance.
The real substance that builds trust and intimacy. These gifts manifest as moments of love, shared adventures, heartwarming laughter, or comfort offered in moments of pain. It's the richness of shared experience, the unwavering support, the simple joy of just being present with someone, no agenda. Laka even states that in true friendship, something is always flourishing, even in the silences. Think about that quiet understanding, the unspoken bond, the comfort in just being together without needing constant chatter.
That's where some of the deepest energetic exchanges happen, right? That subtle nourishment.
Exactly. I invite you, listening, to recall a friendship in your life that truly exemplifies this richness, this constant reciprocal flow of invisible, heartfelt gifts. What did that feel like? What profound sense of well-being or support did it bring into your life?
That sense of flourishing, that feeling, that is the recompense of true heartfelt connection. It's a dynamic, self-sustaining, energetic loop that brings mutual upliftment.
Beautiful.
However, Laka also contrasts this ideal sharply with the painful recompense that arises when friendship isn't nurtured, or worse, is taken for granted.
And the balance shifts.
Right. When one party takes this bond for granted, failing to value the presence of the other, that vital energetic exchange starts to falter. Like a plant deprived of water, really.
It withers.
It does. Laka paints a vivid, almost heartbreaking picture. The tie begins to weaken and closeness slowly dissolves like sand escaping between fingers. It's often a slow, agonizing disintegration, isn't it? Not usually an abrupt end, but this gradual fading away.
Caused by neglect, lack of appreciation.
Or just a failure to reciprocate. The recompensa here is that gradual, painful loss of that beautiful, flourishing connection.
And then there's more active damage.
Yes, the more devastating recompensa of betrayal or deception. Laka is unequivocal here. When someone betrays or deceives a friend, the consequence manifests inevitably. Again, not presented as a moral judgment from Laka, but an observation of energetic law.
What kind of consequence?
Such actions lead directly to mistrust, rupture, estrangement, and ultimately the loss of that which was valued. The trust, the intimacy, the shared history, the emotional safety, all of it is deeply compromised, often destroyed.
And for the person who betrayed.
Well, the recompensa for the betrayer, beyond the immediate loss of the friend, often includes things like a lingering sense of guilt, maybe isolation, or a damaged reputation that affects future relationships. This really brings up an important question, one Laka themselves rhetorically asks. Was it worth it?
That hits hard.
It encourages critical self-reflection, doesn't it? On the true cost of our actions within these sacred bonds. It forces us to weigh that fleeting, often superficial gain of some egoic desire, maybe personal advantage, avoiding discomfort, a moment of perceived power against the profound, lasting loss of a truly valuable, soul-nourishing connection.
The immediate gratification versus the long-term deficit.
Exactly. The short-term gain often just pales in comparison. Laka then takes us deeper into relationship dynamics by introducing the concept of duality and the ego on Earth, explaining how the ego plays a fundamental role, constantly seeking energetic sustenance.
Energetic sustenance, like needing fuel.
Precisely, like needing fuel. This is a crucial insight, moving beyond just conscious choices to the deeper, often unconscious drives shaping our interactions. Many people, Laka points out, go through their entire lives without realizing the depth of this truth.
It's happening under the surface.
Constantly. They ask us to observe. Even behind a smile, there can exist the need for approval, for validation, to be seen and recognized. Now, this isn't to say such a person is dark or ill-intentioned, as Laka clarifies carefully.
Okay, that's important.
Very. Rather, it suggests that the human being has been conditioned to seek comfort, praise, and external well-being. This conditioning is deep, often from childhood, societal norms, personal experiences of perceived lack.
So we learn to look outside ourselves for validation.
We do. And this conditioning means that when these external validations, approval, praise, recognition, even just attention seem to be lacking, the ego agitates and screams, I need more, I need to be more.
That inner clamor, that hunger.
Yes, that sense of energetic hunger then often leads to actions where this need is projected onto another human being. The other person essentially becomes a mirror or source of what the ego believes it needs.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Someone might constantly seek compliments, needing their partner to affirm their worth repeatedly. Or they might always steer conversations back to themselves, unconsciously using others as an audience for their own narrative, needing that attention.
Okay, I see.
Laka identifies this projection and the temporary fulfillment it brings as a form of recompensa, albeit a temporary one, because it addresses a momentary lack. The other person's attention or praise is the immediate recompensa for the ego's demand.
So the ego gets fed momentarily.
Momentarily. This insight helps us understand the complex, often unconscious motivations behind our relational dynamics. It reveals how our ego's hunger for sustenance can drive us to seek fulfillment from others, which often leads to imbalances and eventually a sense of depletion for both parties. Because ultimately, external validation is never truly sufficient for the soul.
That's such an illuminating point, and yeah, incredibly relatable. To recognize that even a seemingly selfless act or just a desire for connection might have that subtle undercurrent of seeking approval or validation, it really shifts how we view our own motivations.
Without judgment, just awareness.
Exactly. Not judgment, just profound self-awareness. And this leads us perfectly into the broader concept Laka talks about. The law of giving and receiving that applies to all relationships, friendship, family, romantic partnership, even work collaborations.
The energetic exchange.
The energetic exchange. Laka states that all relationships carry within them the law of giving and receiving. The ideal state, the really sweet recompensa, is when this balance is maintained.
Harmony.
Yes, when both parties feel nourished. When there's that equitable, reciprocal flow of energy, attention, support, affection, even challenging truths offered with care, then there is harmony and there is joy.
That feeling of mutual enrichment.
Right, where neither person feels drained or overwhelmed, but uplifted, seen, supported. It's not necessarily a perfect 50-50 split every single second, of course.
No, it fluctuates.
But an overall equilibrium. A feeling that over time, the giving and receiving are in flow. Have you ever felt this perfect balance in a relationship, where it felt truly effortless and mutually supportive? Or maybe you've experienced the stark contrast, the imbalance where the scales felt really tipped. What did those experiences feel like for you?
It sounds like this delicate balance is, well, easily disrupted. And Laka makes it clear what happens when it is.
What are the consequences?
Laka analyzes the consequences when this balance is disrupted. When one of the parties stops offering and only receives, or when one gives without receiving, the balance becomes unsettled. And this isn't just a minor fluctuation, it's a fundamental energetic shift. It transforms the very nature of the bond.
How so?
In such cases, Laka explains, many times one person begins to use the other merely to fulfill their needs. For instance, one partner might constantly lean on the other for emotional support, but never really offer a listening ear in return.
Or a friend who always expects favors, but never reciprocates.
Exactly. Now, for the person doing the using, this fulfilling of their needs, however temporarily, however much at the expense of the other, is their recompensa.
Ah, okay, that's their return.
It's a direct consequence of their choice to prioritize their own needs above the reciprocity and well-being of the relationship. It's the immediate, albeit often short-sighted, return they were seeking.
But what about the other person? The one being exploited or neglected?
Well, for them, the recompensa takes a different but equally inevitable form. Their natural movement will be to move away in search of another source of support, affection, or recognition.
They seek balance elsewhere.
Exactly. This act of moving away, the search for balance and nourishment elsewhere, Laka notes, also becomes a recompensa, even if different from the previous one. It's the universe's way of attempting to realign things.
Guiding them towards what they need.
Perhaps guiding them toward what they truly need. Maybe learning self-sufficiency, or setting healthier boundaries, or seeking more balanced connections. It's a powerful illustration of how this law of recompensa works on multiple levels for everyone involved, reflecting the direct and indirect consequences of their choices.
And this loops back to the ego again.
Ultimately, yes, we can connect this back to the ego's desire for sustenance. These imbalances often stem from those unmet ego needs trying to find fulfillment through others, inadvertently creating dynamics of dependence rather than genuine, balanced exchange.
So the recompensa is a lesson.
It's a stark lesson, often, in boundaries, in self-worth, in the energetic cost of those unfulfilled needs. It really underscores the profound importance of self-awareness and conscious giving in nurturing healthy, harmonious connections that truly nourish the soul, not just the fleeting ego. Without conscious intention, relationships can become these unintentional battlegrounds for egoic needs instead of sacred spaces for mutual growth.
Wow. Okay, so we've seen clearly how Laka's principle of recompensa weaves through our personal connections, shaping the very fabric of our most intimate bonds. Now let's unpack this further and see how it extends even into the field of work, our daily occupations, the service we offer.
Right, the professional sphere.
Laka makes it clear that every employment, every service, every craft brings a consequence that is the recompensa. This isn't just about the paycheck or hitting professional targets.
No, it's broader.
It's about the broader, more holistic impact, the energetic returns we experience from how we engage with our professional lives, and the intentions we bring to them. Laka describes the ideal scenario. Those who choose their career with wisdom and care, embracing what resonates with their soul.
Alignment again.
Yes, alignment.
Yeah.
For these individuals, the recompense goes far beyond salary. It encompasses this rich tapestry of internal and external rewards. Pleasure meaning joy in what they do.
That feeling of purpose.
It's that feeling. Waking up eager for the day, feeling invigorated by your tasks, finding deep purpose in your contributions, experiencing that sense of flow where time just disappears. It's a holistic return.
Nourishing more than just the bank account.
Exactly. Nourishing your spirit, your creativity, your sense of self-worth. It's the recompense of alignment. I invite you, our listener, to reflect. Do you feel this deep connection, this sense of resonance and joy, this holistic recompense in your current work? What would it feel like if you did, or if you could deepen that connection?
That resonance is indeed a profound recompense, a powerful sign of alignment between your inner being and your external activity. It's a beautiful example, isn't it? Planting seeds of passion and purpose and harvesting fruits of joy and fulfillment.
It really is.
However, Laka also points to a more common and often far less fulfilling reality. Many people enter professional paths merely to survive, without preparation, without passion.
It's doing what they have to do.
Right. It's a stark contrast, often driven by necessity or fear or external pressures, rather than that inner calling or a genuine desire to contribute in a specific way. Maybe it's a job taken just for the paycheck, or a career chosen to please family expectations.
The recompense there must be very different.
Very different. The consequence, the recompensa in these cases, is frequently frustration, dissatisfaction, emptiness. Laka precisely defines the recompensa here as the feeling of performing tasks without life, without brilliance.
That sounds draining.
It is. It's the experience of just going through the motions, feeling disconnected from the work, contributing without any real personal investment, and the resulting drain on one's spirit, one's vital energy. Now, this isn't about blaming individuals for needing to survive.
No, of course not.
It's an observation of the natural energetic consequence of that misalignment between one's inner being and outer activity. The recompensa here is the mirror of that lack of intrinsic motivation, a sense of drudgery, a lack of spark, the slow erosion of one's creative potential. The external recompensa might be a salary, sure, but the internal one is often that quiet despair or feeling of being unfulfilled.
So what is the goal then, according to Lacan?
Well, what's fascinating here is Laka's definition of the greatest recompensa the human spirit can desire in the field of work. It's not money or status, it is the feeling of realization and of creativity.
Realization and creativity. Tell me more about that.
This elevates the whole discussion beyond just job satisfaction or material gain to something much deeper, something that speaks to our very essence as conscious, creative beings. Laka explains why this is the greatest recompensa. It is in the expression of the soul that true abundance arises.
True abundance, meaning more than just money.
Exactly. This isn't just about receiving material resources, though that can be part of it. It's about feeling that one is contributing, that one is creating, that one is expanding life through their work.
Expanding life.
Yes. It's the deep satisfaction that comes from bringing forth something new, maybe solving a problem creatively, making a meaningful impact that aligns with your deepest values, feeling that your unique essence is being expressed and valued through your work. It's the intrinsic joy of co-creation.
That connects back to alignment again.
Absolutely. It implies that true abundance is holistic. Financial, yes, potentially, but also emotional, spiritual, communal. It's the ultimate payoff for choosing a path that truly resonates with who you are at your core, allowing your unique light to shine and expand through your efforts.
So it's the energetic return of pouring your soul into your craft.
Precisely. Manifesting not just external rewards, but an unparalleled internal sense of peace and purpose.
I love that distinction. The idea that true abundance isn't just about what you get, but what you create and express with your soul. It totally redefines success, doesn't it?
It does. Beyond just material gain.
Making it about the impact and the inner fulfillment. Shifting the focus from external validation to internal resonance. Okay, so let's bring all this incredible wisdom back now, right back to our own personal agency.
Our power to choose.
To the incredible power we each hold in every moment, in every decision. Laka presents the great lesson for all who seek wisdom as simply honesty with themselves.
brutal honesty sometimes.
Yes, it's not about being perfect or achieving some impossible ideal state. It's about being brutally, unflinchingly honest about our true motivations. Those explicit and hidden intentions we discussed earlier, it's a profound act of self-inquiry, a deep dive into our own inner landscape.
Looking under the hood.
Exactly. So what does this all mean for us right now in our daily lives? Laka provides us with these critical questions for self-reflection. Questions that really pierce through the superficial layers of justification and conditioning we all carry. Like, why am I choosing this path? Am I doing this out of necessity, out of fear, out of pride, or out of search for approval? Or am I choosing because I feel the call of my soul?
Those are powerful questions.
Aren't they? They highlight this profound distinction. Are choices driven by the ego's temporary needs, its fears of not being enough, its desire for external validation, its craving for power or control?
Versus
being truly guided by the deeper, more enduring wisdom of our soul, that sense of purpose, expansion, genuine love, alignment. It's a call to examine the energetic signature behind every decision we make, to understand the source from which our actions spring.
So like asking yourself, am I picking this career for the prestige and money, which is often egoic approval, or because it genuinely excites me and lets me contribute my unique talents, the soul's call?
Exactly. Or am I staying in this relationship out of fear of being alone, or out of a deep, resonant love that encourages mutual growth? This honesty, Laka suggests, is the absolute first step towards truly conscious choice.
Exactly. And this raises that important question that cuts right to the heart of it all. It's not whether there will be a result or not, because Laka assures us there always will be, right? No action is lost in the void.
Right. The result is guaranteed.
The result is guaranteed. The real question is whether that result will be aligned with the growth of your essence or merely with the temporary nourishment of the ego. That's the crux of conscious choice.
Ego nourishment versus soul growth.
Precisely. The ego's recompense, while it might feel good immediately, is often fleeting. It leaves us craving more, perpetuating that cycle of external seeking. The soul's recompense, however, provides deep, lasting fulfillment.
Laka uses a metaphor for this, right? The seed.
Yes, a powerful and universally understood metaphor. In every action, in every word, in every thought, there is a seed planted. This imagery is vital because it conveys the inherent potential and the natural, organic unfolding of our choices.
Every single thing we put out is planting something.
Every single emanation, yes, it's an act of planting. And this seed, Laka explains, will sprout sooner or later, bearing fruits, some sweet, others bitter, but all precious in their learning.
All precious, even the bitter ones.
Yes. This normalizes both positive and challenging outcomes as part of an invaluable learning journey. The bitter fruits aren't punishments from some judging universe. They're clear feedback signals, invaluable signposts offering crucial lessons for our growth, guiding us back towards alignment.
So if you plant resentment, you get bitterness.
If you plant resentment, the fruit will be bitterness, not joy. If you plant a seed of love, the fruit will be connection and expansion. It's a direct reflection.
The message here feels quite empowering then.
Profoundly reassuring, I think. It invites us into empowerment. Do not fear the recompenses, but choose it consciously. This isn't about trying to avoid negative consequences, which are just feedback, remember?
Right.
It's about actively participating in the creation of our reality. By choosing with awareness and intention, particularly by choosing guided by the heart, Laka states that you embrace the greater result, that which nourishes not only the ego, but the soul.
That heart-guided choice again.
Stemming from that place of genuine authenticity, compassion, alignment with your highest self. And when the soul is nourished in this way, the internal landscape transforms dramatically.
How does Laka describe that state?
Beautifully, poetically. There is no emptiness, there is plenitude. There is no incessant search, there is repose in being.
Repose in being. Wow.
It's a state of deep contentment, isn't it? Inner peace that transcends external circumstances because it arises from internal alignment. It's the ultimate recompense, that feeling of wholeness, of being complete and at peace, free from the ego's restless demands for more external validation. It is the peace that comes from knowing you are in harmony with the flow of existence.
And Laka connects this to our current times too.
Yes, they bring this universal wisdom right into our current reality, emphasizing the urgency and power of now, reminding us that you are living intense times of transformation.
Intense times. That feels accurate.
Doesn't it? They explain that the energy circulating on the planet accelerates results. This is a critical insight for our present moment. It's just the vibrational frequency of Earth itself is intensifying.
Making the feedback loops faster.
Exactly. Making the energetic feedback loops more immediate and more potent. What it implies is that the recompenses arrive faster, and the fruits of each action manifest with greater clarity.
Less lag time.
Less lag time between cause and effect. It's shrinking, making the impact of our intentions and choices more immediate, more undeniable, more visible in our lives. This acceleration makes conscious choice even more critical now.
Why more critical?
Because the consequences of our actions, both the conscious ones and the unconscious ones, are no longer delayed. They're unfolding rapidly right before our eyes. There's less room to ignore the feedback.
So Laka's call to action is even more relevant now.
Absolutely. They reinforce it. Be attentive, be honest with yourselves, follow what expands the heart. This isn't just, abstract spiritual advice. It's presented as a practical, vital guide for navigating this rapidly evolving energetic landscape with grace and purpose.
And the ultimate goal.
The ultimate aim is to experience the true recompense, that which is never lost. And what is that? The awakening of consciousness and the joy of being in alignment with the source.
That sounds like the real treasure.
It's the enduring internal treasure that no external circumstance can diminish. It's the ultimate realization that our choices aren't just about what we get, but profoundly about who we become and how we contribute to the evolving tapestry of life. It's really a return to our true nature.
What an extraordinary journey, Deep Divers. We've truly unpacked the profound message from Laka, the Pleiades, today. This inevitability, the immediacy, and the immense learning potential woven into every single recompense.
Every single one.
It's such a powerful reminder that every choice, every thought, every action, big or small, sets off a ripple, generating an energetic return that will shape our reality and return to us.
No escape, but also no judgment, just feedback.
Exactly. By truly internalizing that nothing is locked in the void, by understanding that these aren't judgments but simply feedback, we gain incredible agency over our lives. It's not about avoiding consequences, those are inevitable, like you said. It's about consciously shaping them, about aligning our explicit and yes, our hidden intentions with the highest good for ourselves, for others, for the planet. It's an invitation to step into a more deliberate, more aware, and ultimately more fulfilling way of living.
A conscious life.
We really encourage you to integrate these insights into your daily life, to pause before you act, to check in with your heart, your deepest intentions. This call to remembrance asks for nothing less than profound self-honesty.
And this truly brings us to a compelling final thought, perhaps. If Laka's message is correct, and the energy on the planet is indeed accelerating results, well, what profound responsibility does this place on each of us?
Responsibility how?
To cultivate not just mindful choices, but also mindful intentions behind those choices, knowing the fruit, the recompense, will manifest so much more swiftly now. It's a call to elevate our awareness not just of what we do, but why we do it, and to really observe the immediate echoes in our lives.
That feels significant.
It does. And like we discussed, this is an entirely new wisdom. Laka's message is a call to remembrance, suggesting this understanding is perhaps being re-revealed or maybe just made more potent at a crucial time when its implications are more immediate and impactful than ever before.
A timely reminder.
A very timely reminder to truly lean into this, to embrace this heightened awareness, is maybe how we experience the abundance Laka encourages. Choose with love, choose with wisdom, choose with clarity, and then you will receive an abundance far beyond what you expect. It's really an invitation to step into co-creation with the universe, isn't it? Rather than just reacting to it.
Choose with love, wisdom, clarity. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the inescapable echo of every choice. Keep reflecting, keep growing, and most importantly, keep choosing consciously.
Keep planting good seeds.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the fascinating currents of existence. Until then, stay curious.